Hey guys, it's Chris and my messy desk again. Welcome back for another episode of another Amiga thing and whatever and stuff. So today I got some updates and some different stuff, and you might notice that my monitor looks a little different because I finally got my 2410 F, and this is the one that does DVI, HDMI, DisplayPort, composite component, and VGA and 15 and 31 kilohertz. Cool. So you might be noticing that my Amiga 1200 lost its number pad. That's because this is that 600 that I got off of eBay, and I kind of got screwed over on this one too, because the Amiga 600 I purchased had a unpunched warranty sticker, and I was all set and gung-ho to recap that SOB and get it all sorted. I have a whole capacitor kit here with all the Panasonic surface mounts and the electrolytic, I don't know, but those. So I was gonna clean it up and, you know, open it, original hard drive, everything was great. The person who sold this to me sent me a different one, so I'm currently in battle with that. And I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know what Kickstart is in it. It's probably 2.0, 3.0. It's probably 2.0 because the era these came out at. Have a 314 ROM for it that we will be putting in. It was the ROM for either the 500, but I think I'm going to put it in the 600 because this has should have 2 mega chip. And I have my original Commodore discs right here. Alright, you know what? Hell with it. Let's turn it on and see what it has. Cool thing about this monitor is that it just turns on the stand, and I don't have to yank the whole monitor around. Stand stays still. It also will pivot this way, which is really neat. But I didn't run my cables through the cable holder. It also lifts up. It'll raise up and down. And I'm just going to hit the damn button. So my Amiga 500 power supply is on. None of this came with a power supply, so that's unfortunate. Let's just hit the button and see what happens. Oh, not that button. This button. Dell U2410. It's going to find the signal here. I don't know. There's nothing in here. No hard drive. It has a floppy disk. The power light comes on, and we have 2.0 ROMs. Color looks good. Didn't even check the capacitors yet. I just fired it up. 3.2. Huh. I'll try that one. I don't know if these discs are even any good. Floppy drive works, floppy light works, and we're booting. Workbench 1.3.2. I have a mouse. Can I click? Yep. Battery backed up clock not found. Keyboard needs to be cleaned. It's really crusty. 1.3.2. Didn't even know I had this. So on a plus note, it works without being recapped so far. It even has the plastic still on the thing here. Should I just peel it? Nah, I'll leave it. Okay, so it looks like we have 1 mega chip RAM. Oh, you need the stupid you need the belly slot thing to give it the 2 megs. It has. Let's do this. Let me turn this off. Take this disc out. It works. That's great. Put this lid back down. Let's undo the power here. The cable, it's out. So when you lift these up, there's the wire right here. You have to be careful, not just yank it, because the wire for the keyboard is right here. Then you can lift this up like this, and I need a screwdriver. So for this 600 here, we're going to reach in. I have another hard drive caddy, thankfully. That's not going to work. I'm going to use my chip puller here to reach in and grab this. There we go. Okay. So now you pull the cable out of the way. Looks pretty good. So all the tabs are intact. The bottom tabs are intact. A lot of times when you're putting these back together, I remember these would fall out and you couldn't get them back on because the keys would, like, people would smash on these and it would pop out of this plastic lip, and that would always be an issue. So it's actually pretty white. There's a little bit of yellowing on certain keys. Maybe they were popped off, replaced. I don't know. This is an NTSC Amiga 600. Let's take this RGB out. Audio and mouse is on the side here. There's the original mouse plug. The original screws. This is what I was pissed about. The one I bought was, it's a low serial number. It's serial 5371 on this one. 5371 US A600. Yeah, 5371. But the other one I had ordered did not have this broken at all, and I got screwed, as I usually do. And yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the floppy drive. There is another screw in here I have to get out. The two in the back are out, but the one that holds straight down is still in there. So we're going to remove that. Get the floppy disk out. It's a Panasonic JU253, which is a little bit of a oddball one, I would say. Alright, so here's our floppy disk. You see how it runs underneath, the opposite of a 500. It's very limited room. The 500 floppy would be right here, and it would run this way. But this has that weird floppy cable that's always beat the crap up. So I'm going to be very careful removing this. It has a lot. Look at that scratching. Whoa. Did somebody put this in here and grind the crap out of this? This is not an original drive. So I did purchase one of these. This is a compact flash IDE adapter, and you can solder, blob, master, or slave. The idea is it'll fit in a 1200, but on the 600, because it has this metal lip, this angle is not going to be enough, and it will not fit. So it would have to be either pinned on a riser, then the keyboard would hit. So the best thing you can do is either remove your top shielding, which I most likely will be doing, or you could bang this down or cut this piece out, but then you run the risk of the metal pushing onto the capacitor bank where your power and your RGB are. So let's carefully remove the floppy cable here, set that aside, and the power Molex for the cable for the floppy, we'll set that aside. And just like every other Amiga on the planet, the depression tabs have to be bent over. Alright, there we go. So here's the tray. It's clean. It looks like it's been wiped once. The original factory tape is still intact. We'll set that aside, and we'll take a peek at what we got. So this has had some replacement caps. Let's do the old tuna test. You smell that? You smell it? Me neither. Alright, so we have showy. Alright, but that's fine. As far as capacitors go, I mean, they don't look bad at all. This board looks flippin' awesome. Look at the reflection on this thing. It's clean as a whistle. It's not yellow at all. This is a A600 Rev 2B. I don't know what the date is because it's underneath here. It has some I/O tests. That can't be right. That says 80. 90, 12, 16, 2, 16, 80, 7, 12, 17. Quality control number 3. Yeah, okay. So what we got going on here is, this is the MX 2.05 ROM for the 600. And this is your 68,000 processor right here. This is the Surface Mount Edition. So you don't have the big long one like they did on the the 2000s and the 500. This is your Gale. This is a model 1991 date. Chip is the 1991 date. The ROM, we have the 68,000 processor. This is the Gale. This is an 83 what the hell, 75 2 megabyte Agnes. Here's your crystal. Let's see, where am I at? U16 and U17. They're the DRAM chips. It's they're 256K by 16 chips, and I guess your other would be here 1 meg, and I don't know. So neat. 1 meg and then 2 meg. And this this little guy right here, I think this is the Denise. It's socket U4, if I can remember correctly. Yeah, 8373R4. That is a ECS Denise. The power and the RF, which probably could be removed. I'm gonna leave this one in. And this little guy right here, this is your encoder chip for your modulator. And then this is composite video right here on connector or CN10. And then you have your normal mouse and I think it's mouse and joystick DB9 ports. And then you have this lady right here. This is a 8364R7PL. So PL is Paula. And then let's keep on going. And these two guys, I think it's this one. This is a CIA, and then this is a CIA over here. So CIA, CIA, and then you have a floppy power or a pin, the floppy power, your keyboard power itself, and then of course the little power dude, which will have to be desoldered to get to these two back caps. They look okay. It's weird. It is weird. These caps look fine, but you don't know what's underneath. There's no etching around the board. There's no fish smell. There's no signs of wiping. This is the cleanest, glossiest Amiga 600 that I have seen in a long, long time. It's crazy. That is really cool. Now here on this copper connector, this is the belly slot connector for your memory card, and it looks like it either has a fingerprint or some crust on this somehow. So for that, what I like to use is there's this stuff called Brasso, but I buy the generic Twinkle. It's like a little copper cleaning kit, and it works wonders on these slots. So you just unscrew it, and it has like a little, it's kind of dry. Mine's a little dry, but I usually take a Q-tip, and I'll use the applicator for this one. I let it sit for a while, but it's like a paste, and if I take a fingerful here and just wipe it on here, it just does amazing work with these, and it smells like lemons. I might have to put a little water in this because it's kind of drying up. So I'm just going to wipe some of this on with my finger, and look, it's just pulling it off. So let me get a cotton wipe here. We're just going to pull a couple of these out. Now these tend to fray up a lot when you use them. So this is a little crusty because I put the stuff on, but watch how just brilliantly clean this becomes. Now I have to do the bottom side too. I know there's a piece of fuzz hanging underneath there. I'm going to wipe that off too. A lot nicer now, but look at the shine on this board. I cannot believe how awesome condition this is. The idea with this card here is it's going to sit in here like this, and it rests on the PCMCIe slot. There's nothing on the bottom to hurt it. You can put your card in here. The keyboard still has plenty of room It's all internal, and you're rocking and rolling. So this has the 1 slot down ROM. It even has the arrow, as you can see right here, pointing to, leave your top slot free. So with that, bye-bye 2.0. Oh, holy crap. I don't think that's ever been out. I don't think it's ever been out. So that is the original 2.0 ROM. I didn't booger it up too bad, and it doesn't matter because it's mine and no one will see it. So with that, we're going to put in my 314 ROM, just like so. This is overkill. This is a SanDisk Extreme 120 meg per second, 32 gig compact flash card. Now it's a shame that I'm not putting my shielding back on. I really wish I could, but I can't. Now, I think I'm going to go old school and actually use this disk drive. Now I might do another solution. I might put an actual compact flash adapter on the hard drive card. I do have a hard drive caddy from my 1200. It still has the little, what's left of the little Commodore sticky tape on there. That would go, hopefully this fits. Let's see. Yeah, it still fits. So maybe I'll do that route to keep it more original. I will mount another StarTech card on there. Maybe. I don't know. That kind of went on top of the case though. Alright. Okay, so we're going to put our floppy back in after bending these tabs down all the way. But before you do, don't just go plopping it in, because what's going to happen is you're going to forget to put your cable in, and then you're going to be in a world of hurt. So make sure you put your floppy cable in first, and it's red to the right on this one. That is pin 1. So carefully put your floppy cable in, lay it down, and then put your drive in place. And then you're going to make sure you get the longer one of these screws. It looks like this. It's actually like a brass color. You'll know because it's actually longer than all the other coarse thread screws. And that one's for your base of your floppy here. Now before you go gung-ho, there are 2 different types of screws. This is a machine coarse thread, and this is a machine screw. You can clearly tell the difference. The machine screws are used for the back 2 holes on the top here for the floppy drive. Now I can flip this back over, and we can then plug in our floppy connector. So with the connector in, it looks like it was just folded and tucked around like this, and then your floppy power plugs in like that. Now normally the shielding is there, but we're not doing that. Alright, with that, I'm ready for my keyboard assembly. I have my PCM CIA card I can configure after Workbench is loaded. We're going to take our case here. I wish I had a date in here. Made in Malaysia. It has a serial number, but it doesn't have any date stamps like the big box Amigas. So first, I'm going to pull this up on both sides and place this ever so carefully in securely, and then push down with my thumbs to lock it in place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reach down in the front on this side and plug in the keyboard power lights, hard drive light. Not to forget to remove my Wi-Fi card, and then we will set the unit back in and turn it upside down. And at this time, the 3 tabs on the back would hold, and then you have a bunch of screws around the outside that you need to put in place. And we'll turn it over, and now we have a 314 A600. So let's hook it up. So let's turn it on. We're just going to hit the button here, pan up, and see what we see. I have a power light. I have a floppy disk. What the hell was that? We have disk access. It's trying to access the hard drive, but there's nothing on it. floppy disk is floppying. Okay, 314 Kickstart ROM. We're going with the floppy disk version. I'm making sure my write protects are installed. So we're going to actually do floppies here. We're going to go Amiga OS 314 floppy disk install. I'll speed up the parts where we actually do the stupid install. So let's turn the backdrop off. I only have 501K of RAM. We're going to go to HD Tools, and we're going to try running HD Toolbox, and let's see if it sees that compact flash card. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the buffers with 512K of RAM, so I'm going to do a 2 gig first partition, and we're going to leave the rest for later. Okay, so SCSI unknown. We're going to change drive type. We're going to define new, and we're going to read the card and not worry about what it says. Read configuration. 30 gig. Okay. So what I like to do, Control X. I like to go RAM HD. I'm not worried about what the hell is wrong with it. So we're just going to say okay. That way it writes it to RAM for now. Otherwise you'll get a write protect error on your floppy disk. Boop. So now we're going to do partition drive. And I am not doing this. I'm going to say delete partition. I'm going to grab this sucker and drag it the hell down to 3.7. How about that? That works good. We're going to make sure it's called, whoops, not show. I forgot about the stupid delete key, then the backspace key. Alright, we're going to do DH0. It is bootable. And we're going to say advanced options. And we're going to do direct SCSI transfer. Now it has 30 buffers by default. Since it's compact flash, I usually run it to 50. But since this has like poop for RAM, I'm going to leave it alone for now. It should be running 46.13 file system. I'm going to check that. Yeah, 46.13 International FFS, which is fine. We're going to say OK. And then we're going to save changes to drive. I do have that entire second partition available, but because I have to increase its block size to format such a large drive on the Amiga, I won't have enough RAM. So we're going to leave that alone for now, and we're going to say exit. Now I will have to reboot. Control left Amiga, right Amiga. It's nice to see I have a keyboard that works. It is booting off a floppy. The light is working. The disk is working, which is incredible. I hate the backdrop. Take the backdrop off. I forgot to format the disk. Get it before the installer loads. We're going to do a quick install anyway. So okay, Control X. DH0. No trash can. No international mode. Format. Quick. Yep. 3711. Good enough. Hard drive. And what the hell? Error of validating DH0. That's wonderful. Because I have 512K of RAM on an Amiga 600, I cannot do anything.